everybody, and welcome back to F1 22 for my team. You take a look at our progression here through the field, as well as what parts succeed and didn't as we get ready to head to Spain for the Spanish Grand Prix. Get the streamline parts on the car there that will be on the car for Monaco now. We're also going to go with this over-wheel winglets. I don't really understand the rush or not for that one, because it clearly did not matter. But either way, we get those on the car, and you can see we now have the 4th best car on the grid. So, you know, looking good here. As we move to qualifying here, this is in fact Q3. Now, this is our one and only lap in Q3, because what I'm doing here, I am saving a set of soft tires for the race. I have a feeling we could do some damage here with the soft tires. So, and since we're going to start in the top 10, figure might as well only do one run. We come across the line here, and it is a P7 for us, so not a bad starting spot, where we'll have the softs for the race.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. It's a race which saw Max Verstappen take victory on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016, after that dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through the 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Perez, Grim Reaper, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, and Kevin Magnussen, Norris, Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, and Mick Schumacher, Hülkenberg, Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, and Pierre Gasly, Vettel, Stroll, Latifi, and Guan Yu Zhou. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Why don't we discuss Red Bull? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
So then, as you can see, we are going for the soft to hard strategy. Going to do a little bit less fuel in the car, just over 33 laps. But we're not going to be the only ones on this strategy. A couple others are that save soft tires, I believe, including one of the Ferraris, as we get up on the grid here. So, essentially our plan for the race is to attack for the first couple of laps, and then just kind of try to defend position until we hit the pit stop, and maybe, just maybe, try to stretch it out closer to when the guys on the hard compound tire, or the medium compound tire, sorry, will pit, since it is so difficult to overtake at this track. But here we go. Here come the 5 lights. It's lights out, and away we somewhat go. A decent jump, actually. That is probably one of our best ever starts off the line. Probably our best ever, as we are going to stay right alongside there with Bottas heading into Turn 1. A little bit of contact with him there. It shoves us out a little bit wide. But we're going to maintain P7 there, heading through Turns 1 and 2 into Turn 3 now. This long right-hander going off just a little bit because of how hard it is with this heavy fuel load. But we maintained position on the first lap. I don't think we have ever done that in one of these races. As we dive it up the inside of Perez, not going to happen there. A little bit of contact, but no harm, no foul, no wing damage to us. Like I said, we are really trying to attack these first couple of laps. Get the good out of these soft tires. wait while they're still trying to, really warm up and get to grips with their medium tire. So we head down the back straightaway now towards turn 10. We're going to dive it down the inside of Sergio Perez, moving us to P6. Now we've got Lewis Hamilton in front. And actually, no, it's not Carlos Sainz on the medium, so I'm thinking it's Charles Leclerc. I knew one of the guys up ahead here also had the soft compound tire on. As we move to lap 2 here, you can see we managed to keep Perez behind us on the straightaway there, about half a second now on him. So I'll tell you what, our car really unhappy through turn 3 here at the start of the race. But other than that, our car felt great around this circuit, which is strange because this is probably one of my least favorite tracks to drive ever in the history of the Formula 1 games. And I've been playing these games since Codemasters first put them out in 2010. I have always hated driving this track in a Formula 1 car. I hate driving this track in any car. Yet for some reason, our car just really seemed to gel with this Catalunya circuit. And we had some amazing pace throughout this race. As you can see, we qualified really well. And now we're racing relatively well, too, as we're sticking here with Russell, Sainz, and Hamilton. The front two are starting to get away of Leclerc and Max Verstappen. So DRS is enabled as we go down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, who it looks like locked it up there. So an easy pass on Hamilton as he is nowhere to be found behind us. He locks up the tires heading into turn 1 when we went for a move on the inside. Not sure if that was just a mistake on his part or if he really wasn't expecting us, but that made our move easy there. All right, so we'll have to watch the ERS. We should be fine for this race, though. I'm not going to be too worried about that. However, we'll have to replace it for the next race, which, of course, is Monaco. So we're just going to try to stick with Sainz and Russell here through these next couple of laps, and we're kind of going to start going into defensive mode relatively soon here as we begin lap 4, riding on board with Carlos Sainz here. He's looking for a move up on the outside of George Russell, heading into turn 1. Russell completely misses the corner, much like his teammate did. He goes off into the runoff, but keeps it on the track, and that will actually allow us to get past him. Let's ride on board here, see if he locked it up like his teammate did, heading into 1 here. And while there's no actual lockup, no smoke or anything, he just completely runs straight. So I don't know if there's an issue with that Mercedes or what's going on with that car, but that is both of them making a mistake into turn 1, as you can see it now from our point of view, which allowed us to go around the outside of Russell. Relatively nice there. And it's at this point where Sainz is now just over a second and a half ahead of us, where I decide we're going to go into that defensive mode now. We're on lap 4. The tires have gotten their absolute best out of them already. So we're just going to go into defensive mode here. We are going to try to keep both of the Mercedes cars behind us. And we'll just see what we can do, see if we can, in fact, defend the position and how long we can go on this soft tires. We begin lap 6. Here is George Russell in our slipstream as well as our DRS. See if he's going to try to make a move. He's really far back. He's going to send it up the inside anyway, make contact with us. We go off wide to avoid further contact, and because we were shoved up there. But a really late maneuver there from George Russell, a very stupid move from him. And actually, this hurts him and helps us because he gets a bit of wing damage from this move and is actually going to end up slowing down the rest of the lap. So we fast forward here. You can see it's allowing us to slowly inch our way ahead of him. And he's having a really hard time getting grip through the corner. And he's actually going to come in at the end of this lap to replace the wing. So held up Lewis Hamilton there for us very nicely. So thank you, Russell. Your boneheaded move trying to go up the inside of turn 1 actually worked out great for us. So Hamilton is going to take over the position. He's going to try to chase us down. However, he's pretty far back. So it kind of allows us to kind of take it easy there. But just a couple laps later, you can see Hamilton now going for a move around the outside of us. Kind of has it done there, but not able. We're able to get the switch back on him there as it turned into the right hand. As we had the inside line that kind of helped us get that momentum out of the corner a little bit more than he did. We were allowed to take the line there, and we continue to run in P4. Now on lap 9, You see there, our tires are starting to get worn. Exactly, that's what I was saying. Our tires are starting to get worn, so it's something we need to keep an eye on here. As we move a couple laps ahead, you can see Charles Leclerc did come into the pits. He was one of the soft compound tire runners, along with several others you see on the mini-map there. So everyone else on the softs has already came in. We're going to try to push it again as long as we can without losing too much time. And actually, if we can hold up those other soft tire runners at pit, that would work out really well for us. So here's a replay of what happened behind us. You can see for us it was all smooth sailing, but Hamilton locks it up once again heading into turn 1, makes contact there with one of the McLarens. I believe that's Lando Norris he made contact with, but another costly mistake by the Mercedes team. They are just having a hard time with their brakes into turn 1 today. That is, what, the third or fourth lockup from them? And actually that one with Russell wasn't a lockup, it was just a mistake. So the Mercedes guys not on top of their game today. As we move along here to the end of the lap, the beginning of lap 11, you can see Perez now has a run on us heading down the front straightaway. He's going to get right up behind us in the slipstream. We're going to go defensive as we head towards the corner, switch back to the outside line. He makes a late move, much like Russell did, but this time loses the entirety of the front wing. And that's going to help us even more. But actually, it brings out a safety car. So that debris from his car brought out a safety car. Here's a look from our view. So like normal, we switch back to the left here because he's so far back. I don't think he's going to go for a move. Then just makes contact with our rear tire. And shortly after that, will bring out a safety car. So that really works out for us. Once again, we get lucky with a safety car here in our career mode. I think every race we've gotten pretty lucky with the safety car. So we bring it into the pit lane along with everyone else.
Are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
So we bring it into the pit lane. We are going to go on hard compound tires along with everybody else. So now we are on even ground with everyone, and we'll be on hards till the end of the race. So this could not have possibly worked out better for us if we tried. I'll tell you what, look at the mini-map. Look who else this works out for. Our teammate Nico Hulkenberg. Because he had pitted the lap before, he passed by all of these cars in the pits and is now in a very good points-paying position. So we could be on for another double points finish here for the team, as Nico is going to be in the points. So I'm already trying to calculate what we're going to do in the team as a plan here now that we're all on equal footing with the hards, because as we get ready to go green on lap 13 here, I don't know if we could pass these top three. Again, it's not like Saudi Arabia where we just had magical speed and was able to gee up with these guys. We do not have the long-term pace here in Spain, but we're going to give it a go here on the restart. You can see we have a great jump of the cars behind us and a jump on the Ferrari. Heading into turn 1, he locks up actually. That's Carlos Sainz. He locks up, runs wide, and we take the position, but you see we get really squirrely there on the exit. But now, for the second time in our career, we are in a podium position thanks to, actually this is Charles Leclerc, my bad, not Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc locks it up heading into turn 1, just completely misses the corner, and now Charles Leclerc has put himself in the bin into P4, so with that, it actually changed my strategy immediately. We're going to immediately go into defensive mode. I know that unless something happens to those two up ahead, we aren't going to be able to catch them, so we're just going to try to defend here from Charles Leclerc, who tries to go on our outside there, heading into turns 10 and 11. We're going to hold the position for now. So with a very strong Ferrari behind us, that helps us because it means the spot where he would most likely overtake us as he runs over the curb there and probably damages the underbody. We have an equal engine, so we just got to worry about him with DRS, but luckily he might have just given himself damage. Who knows with him running over the curb there at turn 13, I believe that is. So we're going to try to hold off Charles Leclerc as long as possible, along with the rest of the field. We are just going to let Sainz and Verstappen go. We are not worried about them. As far as we're concerned, this is the only race here. Here comes Charles Leclerc on our left side. He has DRS, probably on the ERS too, as we're on the ERS, heading into turn 1. We're going to be the last of the late breakers there and hold on to P3 as he actually got a horrible exit off the corner, which is going to allow Lewis Hamilton to battle with him. So that's going to buy us a bit of breathing room and allow us to really ease our pace up to conserve these hard tires so we don't have to worry. As actually Bottas goes for a move there. Jumping ahead quite a bit now to lap 19. As you can see here, we're riding on board. I believe this is with Gasly. Yes, this is with Gasly. As you can see, everyone in a clump here behind us. This is actually like a second pack as he runs into the back of an Alpine. I didn't think it was that much damage, but apparently it was enough that causes the Frenchman to retire from the race. Really strange that that causes a retirement. Again, to me, it doesn't seem like that would warrant it. He could just come in for a new nose, but I guess the AlphaTauri team told him to retire the car. As we're going to continue to work on Lewis Hamilton. Behind us here, Charles Leclerc a good distance back, so we only got to worry about Hamilton right now. He's going to go to our outside to turn 1, but we're going to hold him off once again. And we're going to hold on to P3 for now. Now, you can see, again, there's multiple clumps here, and Nico is at the back of this clump. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to really back this up to let Nico catch on to the back of our group even more, and maybe we can try some shenanigans with the cars around us to try to get Nico up towards us with just over 10 laps to go in this race, 13-14 to go here. As a couple laps later, we ride on board with Goat Tiffy, of course, the greatest driver of all, who is about 20 seconds behind any other car. But unfortunately, his Williams has let him down once again, and the engine blows on lap 23 of the race, and he is going to pull off to the side and retire from this Spanish Grand Prix, but not before screwing everyone else over by taking out the breaking point bollards. I don't know why he decided to do that, but he did. But not even a lap later, at the end of the lap, riding on board with Guan Yu Zhou, who's coming down the front straightaway here in his Alfa Romeo, and his Ferrari power unit goes. So within the span of a lap, 2 of the back marker cars have engines retire. Alfa Romeo, not a total back marker. I should give them more credit than that, but you know, of the Ferrari cars, probably one of the worst ones. But a lap later, here comes Lewis Hamilton. He's now got to face Valtteri Bottas, speaking of the Alfa Romeo. And us as well. We go for our normal line, which allows Nico to shoot up the inside. I thought he was behind Valtteri Bottas as well, so let's ride on board. He is! What has Nico Hülkenberg done down this front straightaway? So these two get to squabbling. They're both trying to race me, which just allows Nico to shoot up the inside, get up alongside us actually, but then takes P4. A brilliant, brilliant pass from Nico Hülkenberg. Well done, boy. And now we have a new plan we're going to try here. I don't know if Nico is going to be able to hold off these 3 cars for the entirety of the race. So what we're going to do here is we are going to perform a swap. As you can see, we fast forward through the lap here. I'm trying to find a good spot to do it, maybe down the front straightaway. We are going to let Nico Hülkenberg get in front of us, take P3 for now, and we will try to pass him back towards the end of the race so I can play rear gunner. I can be the defensive one here. As a bit of miscommunication at first, I tried to go to the outside to let him by. He decided to go to the outside. But either way, we got the move done as I braked very early to let Nico Hülkenberg go. So Nico now to P3, and we're going to be the defensive one here. Hold off the rest of the pack and try to secure a P3, P4 for us. And as we move to lap number 30, perfect, 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 perfect. So as we move to lap 30, you can see we've allowed Nico to get about a second ahead of us. We stay within DRS range, and we continue to play defense. But with Hamilton now having an issue, this is going to work out really well for us, as he's going to be slow. He's going to have to battle more with Alonso. So now we can actually focus on starting to repass Nico. So we're going to go ahead, up our pace a little bit, try to drive away from the rest of them, and work on getting Nico Hulkenberg back so we can get back on the podium, because after all, that is our spot. We gifted it to Nico for the time being. Of course, there's no team orders in this game where we can't just say, hey, give us the spot back. But going down the straightaway here, you can see we have a huge gap on Alonso as Hamilton's fallen off a cliff. And we're going to go down the inside, and Nico actually made it really easy for us, almost as if he knew. And with just over a lap to go, I think he'll be able to hold off Fernando Alonso just fine. But we're going to try to make sure we don't get too far away from Nico. We're going to slow our pace back a little just so he gets that DRS down the straight. So he's able to defend from Fernando Alonso, as that is the only threat right now. Either way, we're looking at a podium and a P5 at the worst. So at worst here, P4, P5 for both of our cars here. If Fernando could somehow get past both of us. But this is without a doubt our best performance as a team and our best finish. But on the last lap now you can see he managed to hold off Fernando Alonso pretty well. And the pack has started to catch back up to us because I actually really slowed that pace up to make sure he would stay with us there. As Max Verstappen comes across the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix, Nico looks to the outside of us heading to turn 10, trying to get that position back from us. He really wants his first F1 podium, but it's going to have to wait, Nico. We are taking our second podium this weekend. So Max Verstappen wins in the Red Bull, takes fastest lap. Carlos Sainz comes home second. But this is a moment to remember for the team. It is our second podium. We've been on the podium before, but a 3-4, our best combined result. It is a podium for us and P4 for Nico.
Great work, well done. We're really happy with the podium here, well done.
So we get the trophy for the podium, and Nico Hulkenberg takes driver of the day for the Spanish Grand Prix. Well done.
So, another fantastic victory for Red Bull today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
So Max Verstappen will extend his championship lead, but not by too much over Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc finishes P7 on the day, so he'll extend it over Charles. But again, P3, P4 for us. Haas managed to get into the points along with Daniel Ricciardo. A relatively decent result for McLaren there, 10th and 11th. Mick Schumacher, the other Haas, finishing outside the points. What a disastrous day for quite a few drivers, including Russell, Perez, Zhou, Latifi, Pierre Gasly, all having disastrous races, finishing outside of the points or even DNFing. You see in the driver's standings, 23 points now the gap between Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, and we have overtaken Nico by just 2 points for P7 and P8 in the driver's standings. But over in the constructors' standings, we extend our lead greatly over Alpine, 86 to 54 there. And you can see Red Bull, 158 to 151, just 7 points the difference there. And at the bottom, Williams still yet to score their first point of the season. So as we head towards Monaco, our sponsorship with, our secondary sponsorship was over, but we just re-signed them, same amount, I believe, so all good there. Like I said, we're going to go ahead, work on getting new components onto the car for Monaco. Not that they're too important for Monaco, but you know, we need to get that done. A very short week. We don't really have much activities to do here. We are going to do a podium celebration party because, you know, we celebrate. Why not? It also helps boost morale. So we'll go ahead with that, and that gives us one more day. So we'll go ahead, do some driver promotion filming with ourselves. Why not? We're on the podium. That's good for us to get. So, as you can see, heading towards Monaco, our minor powertrain upgrade failed, the ignition system. Go ahead, get that restart. Like I said, it could be worse. It's not the biggest issue if it's not on the car for Monaco, so we'll get that restarted, and it will be on the car in time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, where engines do matter. So, with that, we're going to do one more thing here. We have enough money. We're actually going to finally upgrade one of our departments here. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade the pit equipment, which is $3 million. It'll be done on June 5th. But if you remember, we've had some issues with our pit crew so far this year. Nothing in the last race, luckily. But we've had some issues, so we're going to go ahead upgrade the pit equipment so we have less issues, hopefully. As, again, that'll be done June 5th. And that takes us down to 1.2 million, so not bad. We seem to be earning money relatively quickly right now with some great secondary sponsors. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Monaco Grand Prix is next, the crown jewel of the sport, one of my favorite tracks. If you liked this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more F1 22 My Team content. Bye!